Well, thank you for joining us for the Grand National 2015 videocast as we look forward to the big race in less than 2 weeks' time in the company of betting guru Angus Loughran. Of course, all the talk has been about Tony McCoy and shut the front door and what price will he start, and looks as though McCoy is going to ride him. What's your estimation, Angus? Would he be as low as 4-1, 9-2?
He might get as low as that, but I think they'll probably, in the end, try and take him on. I think he'll hold up on the exchange, and it'll be very interesting to see what happens on the day at Aintree. I've worked on many Grand Nationals on the track to do with the betting, and it's certainly been fascinating. The worst time to probably have a bet is in the 2 or 3 days leading up to the race. On the day of the race, get up early, shop around, and you'll get tremendous value. They'll try and get him first thing.
There could be one of these special bookmaker offers if you open an account for the first time.
Oh, there's bound to be that.
Where they might well go something like, I don't know, 14-1
for
a 5 or a 10 on shut the front door.
Absolutely, no. I mean, I think there's every chance that you'll get that. It just depends where the weight of money on the day is, and it is likely to be the public horse is going to be McCoy.
Of course.
And so inevitably it's going to be favourite. It depends whether there's a spread of money for other horses. I mean, I think it's quite an open race, and I think there's a few horses that have a great chance. I do like the opportunity Rocky Creek has. It was going quite well last year in the race, and wasn't quite sure if it stayed, but the trainer doesn't think that will be any problem.
Do you think, was it a fact that maybe the jockeys went for home a little bit too early?
Possibly.
Could have maybe held them together a bit longer?
If you go back to the in-running prices, it's a shame that they're not always there. About the in-running prices aren't available on the record like all the other prices are, because this horse actually traded reasonably short in the Grand National, and it was going very well. And I think it has improved this year, and its win at Kempton was excellent. So. I'm looking at definitely as that being on my short list.
But there's one at a bigger price I know you particularly like, and actually he's on my short list as well. He won at Catterick last time, didn't he?
Yeah, I mean the Catterick race was almost probably one of the best bets of the year, because they were so desperate to get this horse into the Grand National, and that was public knowledge. I mean, Tom George had said, we've got a real Grand National horse, but we don't think it's going to get in the weights yet.
And in the end, they needn't run him. He's 30th. We're talking about St. Arnold.
He's number 30 at the moment. He won't be number 30, but he's in the race now.
Yeah, he's guaranteed.
And I mean, it's got Grand National fence winning form, and some of the races are on this year. I mean, this looks like a terrific place bet. Those that think, you're talking 33-1, 5 places, 50 odds, a quarter of the odds. So you're getting 8-1 your money for a place, and if you think it can be placed, it can win. So I think that's got a great chance. And Alvaro, which will get in, it's currently right on the mark, but it will get in. Again, ran a blinding race last year, and I think this might sound a bit odd, but the best trial for the National is last year's National.
Always is.
I mean, going back to, I remember back in West Tip when it won.
I remember when he fell at Beaches the year before.
It fell at Beaches the year before. Looked like travelling well, and they can often be. I think the horse that's really made the race fascinating is Many Clouds, because it wasn't in the plan to run this in the National, and to be quite honest, it's a horse that goes best fresh.
But the interesting thing about him, Angus,
I think he could win.
I really think Lordland to me is not going to run. Okay,
they're going to be top weight.
So Many Clouds going to go. But when you think about his level of performance in the Hennessy and the Cotswold, and then people were saying left, right and centre, everything in the Gold Cup was in his favour, soft ground, and he obviously has run about £10 below par. Does it not worry you slightly that this is a bit of an afterthought?
Oh no, most certainly it does, because it was never even at the forefront at the moment. But I spoke to Trevor Hemmings, and it was quite interesting. At the weights lunch, I said, "What are Many Clouds? Oh, don't discount that Many Clouds range." I mean, he puts it to the point, and I was actually a bit taken back. I said, I thought it was the Gold Cup, and he was on Aintree 4 weeks, But the Sherwoods have been quite cute with this horse.
So in the back of their mind, it was always on the horizon, on the agenda.
I think it might have been the owner rather than the trainer who wanted to run it. And he's had a lot of luck in this race. He's had a lot of horses that have run really well before him. Well, I mean, Hedgehunt's been the one for him. But I mean, he's had some lovely horses, and I think that'll go well.
The Grand National has, over the last 5, 6, 7 years, since they of course have changed the layout of the course, and they've eased the fences and the core part of the fence, which is now most of them are plastic core with a lot of spruce on top. It's a more open race, but as you said at the beginning of this video cast, it strikes me that this year's field has a lot more strength in depth than in previous years.
Yeah, but saying that, I mean, the bookmakers have had some blinding results in this run in the National the last few years. They can't really complain. I mean, okay, Don't Push It was a heavily backed favourite, but there's been a lot of gambles gone astray.
Yeah, we go back 5 or 6 years, Monmouth 100 to 1.
Yeah.
Pinot de Rey last year.
Yeah, I mean, Pinot de Rey will probably be back this year. It won't be the same jockey, I don't think, this year, which would be a shame for him. But it's a great race, the National. The only thing that can completely throw it out into something of a real lottery is if we get very soft ground. Now, the forecast at the moment, short term isn't great, but you wouldn't want to rely on a 2-week forecast in this country.
I was going to say the week beforehand, it looks as though it's going to be okay. And I've had a look at this race myself, as you have, and there are 6 or 7 horses that really want good ground to be at their best. I mean, we talked about last year's second, Balthazar's King. Yeah. Philip Hobbs has said time and time again, you know what, even if the ground is good, soft in places, he basically won't run. Last year's Scottish National winner, Alco, needs the good ground. Godswood Judge won the Scottish National the year before. So that there is a ground emphasis for a lot of horses here, isn't there?
Oh, very much so. And if the ground rides good, they won't let it ride any faster than Good to Fun.
No,
it won't get that.
No,
but yeah, good. So Marcus Armitage's record, the fastest National for Kim Bailey or Mr. Frisky, I think he can rest easy for another year and another few years as well. By the way, so we're going to get a maximum field. There's one down the bottom that David Pike's quite sweet on, Soul. Said it's improved a lot. Looks a great Grand National type.
He's run well over the fences before.
Yeah, it needs a few to come out, but the way things are looking, I think it might be right on the cusp, and something down the bottom can easily win. But as usual, it feels like an 8 to 1, 10 to 1 the field race, but it won't be because of the McCoy factor. This is Tony McCoy's last Grand National ride, so the majority of the public will be backing McCoy.
But he makes the market for everything else.
He makes the market for everything else.
Okay, let's end up. Give us your 1, 2, 3, and an outsider on top of that, Angus.
Well, I'm going to go with Rocky Creek, and I think it's a horse that they've all got to beat. I fancy it. I give it a good chance. I really fancy Saint Air to be in the shake-up. I'm just trying to work out whether it'll be second, third or fourth.
But solid for the front.
I think it'll be in the shake-up. More likely probably to be third or fourth and second. Alvaro I like as well. And I think Soul, and I'm going to put the favourite in there as well. Shut the Front Door. I'm not sure it's going to win this race, but I think it'll be in the fake-up. So if I go with Rocky Creek, Soul, Saint Air, Alvaro, and maybe 5th place for Shut the Front Door.
That'll do me nicely. That's Angus Loughran on the 2015 Grand National. Thank you for watching easyodds.com.